The platypus is one of nature's most extraordinary enigmas, a primitive yet perfectly adapted survivor from the dawn of mammalian history. It is a creature that truly defies standard classification. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden science of how this unique monotreme thrives in the freezing waterways of Australia, mastering the art of energy conservation through its fascinating biology. As a monotreme, it's a bridge between worlds, laying eggs like a bird, yet nursing its young with nutrient-rich milk just like a mammal. This true evolutionary hybrid has survived for millions of years. Found only in eastern Australia and Tasmania, their range spans from tropical rainforest lowlands in the north to the cold, high-altitude streams of the Australian Alps. One of its most fascinating physiological traits is its low body temperature, consistently maintained at around 32 degrees Celsius, which is several degrees lower than that of most other mammals. This is a clever evolutionary strategy designed to minimize its overall energy needs. By operating at a lower temperature, the platypus requires less fuel to maintain its core functions in the cold. Maintaining this lower core temperature allows the platypus to significantly reduce its basal metabolic rate, helping it conserve vital energy when food is scarce or when resting in its burrow. In the chilly streams where they hunt, heat loss to the water is a constant challenge. Water conducts heat away from the body much faster than air, making insulation a matter of life and death. To fight the cold, the platypus is wrapped in a coat of fur so dense it provides incredible thermal insulation. This fur is waterproof and layered to protect the animal's skin from the elements. This fur traps a thin layer of air next to the skin, creating a barrier that keeps the animal dry and warm even when submerged for long periods during its deep hunting dives. They also carry a biological battery, a broad, flat tail used specifically for storing concentrated fat reserves. These reserves are vital during the winter months or the demanding breeding season. When it's time to forage, their metabolism shifts into high gear to power their unique swimming style. They propel themselves with alternating strokes of their front feet while steering with their tail. They may spend up to 12 hours each day foraging along the dark riverbed, searching for insect larvae, worms, and small shrimp to sustain their high activity levels while in the water. With their eyes and ears closed tight underwater, they rely on an incredible sixth sense known as echolocation, detected by thousands of tiny receptors located in their highly sensitive duck-like bill. By sensing the tiny electrical pulses from their prey's muscular contractions, they can hunt with deadly accuracy even in total darkness or the muddiest waters where visibility is zero. The males even possess a hidden weapon, a venomous spur on their hind feet, primarily used during territorial disputes. This venom is powerful enough to cause severe pain in larger predators. Females retreat to deep, complex nesting burrows to lay their eggs, creating a safe and climate-controlled sanctuary where the young, called puggles, are nursed until they are ready for the world. These living fossils offer us a rare and precious glimpse into the early history of all mammals. Having survived for over 100 million years, they are truly masters of adaptation. By understanding the platypus, we learn to appreciate the incredible diversity and resilience of life on our planet. It reminds us that nature's most unusual paths often lead to brilliance. Nature is full of surprises, but few creatures are as baffling as the platypus. This Australian icon is a true biological mosaic. With its duck-like bill, beaver-like tail, and otter-like feet, it looks like a creature made of spare parts. But its strangest feature is hidden inside. The platypus doesn't have a true stomach. In most mammals, the stomach is essential for digestion, but here, it's missing. Instead of a sac filled with acid, the platypus has a simple gullet that leads straight to its intestines, just like some fish. It's a trait shared only by its closest relatives, the echidnas, and certain fish like the zebrafish or pufferfish. Why did this happen? Scientists believe it's a profound evolutionary change driven by both diet and genetics. Over millions of years, the genes responsible for producing stomach acid and digestive enzymes were either deleted or inactivated. This is a classic example of Dallow's law. Once a complex organ like a stomach is lost, it's almost never regained in evolution. To understand why, we have to look at what the platypus eats. They are dedicated bottom feeders. They hunt underwater for small, soft-bodied invertebrates like caddisfly larvae, water bugs, and freshwater shrimp. These small creatures don't require the intense chemical breakdown that a highly acidic stomach provides. The platypus's duck-like bill is its primary tool, equipped with sensitive electroreceptors to find prey in murky water. Once captured, they store their food in special cheek pouches, along with bits of gravel from the riverbed. Adult platypuses have no teeth. Instead, they use rough grinding pads to masticate their prey into a fine paste. This mechanical breakdown is so efficient that it does much of the work a stomach would normally do. Many of their prey items have shells rich in calcium carbonate. This chemical compound actually neutralizes stomach acid. Producing acid is energetically expensive. For the platypus, it would be a waste of energy to make acid that just gets neutralized. So, evolution took the path of least resistance. It discarded the stomach in favor of a more streamlined, efficient system. The platypus still has a small pouch where the stomach once was, but it's aglandular, meaning it doesn't secrete acid. Instead, this area is rich in glands that produce mucus to lubricate the food for its journey through the intestines. The real magic happens in the intestines, which are perfectly adapted for rapid nutrient absorption. These numerous folds increase the surface area, ensuring the platypus gets every bit of energy from its soft-bodied prey. Genetically, the platypus has lost the genes for pepsinogen, the enzyme that breaks down proteins in acidic environments. Even the genes that trigger acid production and control stomach development are now completely silent in their genome. This isn't just a mammalian quirk. Some fish have also evolved this way, proving that a stomachless life can be very successful. By shedding the complex machinery of a stomach, the platypus has thrived for millions of years in its unique niche. It's a masterclass in evolutionary efficiency, proving that sometimes less truly is more. This odd creature isn't a mistake of nature, it's one of the most perfectly adapted animals on Earth. Next time you think about the platypus, remember its incredible internal journey, a journey without a stomach. Thanks for joining me to explore the wonders of the natural world. See you next time. Nature has many wonders, but few are as baffling as the platypus. Today we're diving deep into its world. When the first specimens reached Europe, scientists thought it was a hoax, a patchwork of different animals. The platypus is a monotreme, a rare group of mammals that lay eggs instead of giving birth to live young. They lay small, leathery eggs similar to those of reptiles, yet they are strictly mammals. But being a mammal means they must nurse their young. But here's where it gets truly strange. Unlike almost every other mammal you know, the female platypus actually has no nipples. Instead, she secretes milk directly through specialized mammary hairs on her abdomen. The milk pools on her skin and fur, creating a nutritious feast for her babies. And these babies have a name just as unique as they are. They're called puggles. Puggles don't suckle. They lap up the milk directly from their mother's milk patches. This milk is incredibly rich and contains unique antibacterial proteins to protect the young. Puggles stay in the safety of the burrow for about 4 months before they're ready for the water. But the nursing is just the beginning. Did you know the male platypus is one of the few venomous mammals? He has spurs on his hind legs that can deliver a painful venom, mostly used during mating season. They also hunt using a sixth sense called electroreception. It's like something out of science fiction. By closing their eyes, ears, and nostrils underwater, they detect the electrical signals of their prey. And here's a real kicker. The platypus doesn't even have a stomach. Their esophagus connects directly to their intestines. They scoop up gravel from the riverbed to help grind their food since they don't have teeth either. They are an evolutionary puzzle that has survived for millions of years, largely unchanged. Native to eastern Australia and Tasmania, they are icons of the unique wildlife found nowhere else. Unfortunately, their habitats are under threat. They are currently listed as near threatened. Pollution, land clearing, and climate change are all making life harder for this incredible creature. Supporting conservation efforts and keeping our waterways clean are vital steps to ensure their survival. Despite the challenges, the platypus remains a symbol of resilience and biological curiosity. So remember, no nipples, just mammary hairs and adorable puggles lapping up milk. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's just one more day in the life of a platypus. Nature never ceases to amaze when we take the time to look closer. From the outback to the rivers, every creature has a story to tell. Thanks for joining me on this journey. Subscribe for more fascinating facts about our wild world. See you in the next one. Stay curious. Deep in the freshwater streams of Australia lives a creature so unique it seems like a patchwork of nature's oddest ideas. Today, we're diving into the extraordinary world of the platypus to uncover its most remarkable secret, how it hunts without sight. At the center of its hunting strategy is this, the bill. It's not hard like a bird's, but soft, pliable, and packed with sensory power. When hunting, the platypus closes its eyes, ears, and nostrils, relying entirely on its sensitive bill to guide it. It uses this sixth sense to navigate and dig for invertebrates hidden deep within the murky stream beds. Thousands of tiny receptors in the bill detect the weak electrical fields generated by the muscles of its prey. With roughly 40,000 electroreceptors, the platypus can see the electrical signature of even the smallest larva. By sweeping its head from side to side, it maps out the direction and distance of its next meal with pinpoint accuracy. It also uses mechanoreceptors to detect physical vibrations and pressure changes in the water around it. Its diet includes insect larvae, shrimp, and worms, virtually any small invertebrate it encounters. When it finds food, it scoops it up along with river gravel and stores it in specialized cheek pouches. The platypus then resurfaces to grind and consume its catch using horny plates instead of teeth. Maintaining this active lifestyle requires a massive amount of energy, often eating half its own weight every single day. Because they are mostly nocturnal, this electrical sensing is vital for hunting in the dark Australian waters. They are found across eastern Australia from tropical lowlands to cold alpine streams. As monotremes, they are among the few mammals that lay eggs, a trait shared with only the echidna. But don't be fooled by their cute appearance. Males possess venomous spurs on their hind feet for defense. Their dense fur provides incredible insulation, keeping them warm even in the coldest mountain runoff. Fully webbed front feet provide powerful propulsion, while the tail helps with steering. Often called living fossils, they represent an ancient lineage that has survived for millions of years. Their anatomy is a masterclass in adaptation, perfectly tuned to their semi-aquatic environment. A typical dive lasts about a minute as they tirelessly search for their next meal. The platypus is a true marvel of evolution, proving that sometimes the strangest features are the most effective. From closing its eyes to feeling electricity, every dive is a showcase of sensory perfection. Thanks for joining us on this underwater journey. Nature never ceases to amaze. Until next time, keep exploring the wonders of our natural world. Welcome to a journey into the world of one of nature's most bizarre and fascinating creatures, the platypus. At first glance, it looks like a mishmash of different animals, leaving early scientists baffled by its existence. It has the bill of a duck, the tail of a beaver, and the feet of an otter. But the surprises don't stop there. Despite its strange appearance, the platypus is indeed a mammal. It has fur and feeds its young with milk. But here's where it gets truly unique. The platypus lays eggs, a trait it shares with only a few other mammals. The female typically produces 1 to 3 small, leathery eggs, much like those of a reptile. She incubates these eggs for about 10 days, keeping them warm against her body in a specialized burrow. When the young hatch, they are vulnerable and hairless, relying entirely on their mother for survival. Interestingly, female platypuses don't have nipples. Instead, they sweat milk from pores in their skin. These extraordinary creatures are native to eastern Australia and Tasmania, thriving in freshwater systems. They are primarily nocturnal, spending their nights foraging for food along the river bottoms. To find prey in the dark, they use electroreception, detecting the tiny electrical signals from muscles. They scoop up insects, larvae, and shellfish, storing them in cheek pouches to eat at the surface. Did you know adult platypuses have no teeth? They use gravel they've scooped up to grind their food. They are also one of the few venomous mammals. Males have spurs on their hind legs that can deliver a painful sting. This venom is used primarily during the breeding season to fend off rival males. The platypus belongs to a small group called monotremes, which includes the echidna. They are living links to the past, preserving traits from the early ancestors of all mammals. Unfortunately, the platypus is currently listed as near threatened due to habitat loss and climate change. Polluted waterways and dam construction threaten the delicate environments they call home. Conservation efforts are underway to protect their habitats and ensure their survival for generations to come. Scientists continue to study their DNA, which contains a mix of mammalian, avian, and reptilian features. Even more surprising, their fur glows under UV light, a phenomenon known as biofluorescence. The purpose of this glow remains a mystery, but it adds yet another layer to their enigma. They are resilient creatures, perfectly adapted to their semi-aquatic Australian lifestyle. That broad tail isn't just for steering, it also stores fat for times when food is scarce. The platypus reminds us that nature is full of surprises and endless variation. By respecting and protecting these unique animals, we preserve a vital piece of our planet's history. Their presence is a testament to the diversity of life on Earth. Thank you for joining us to explore the life of the incredible egg-laying platypus. Until next time. In 1799, a package arrived from the remote shores of Australia. Inside was a specimen unlike anything European scientists had ever seen. It was a creature with the bill of a duck, the tail of a beaver, and the feet of an otter. The first reaction? Pure disbelief. George Shaw, a leading zoologist at the British Museum, was the first scientist to examine it closely. He suspected it was a sophisticated hoax. Shaw and his colleagues believed it was a taxidermy joke, literally stitched together by someone with a very twisted sense of humor. Shaw actually took a pair of scissors to the skin, searching for the stitches he was certain would be hidden beneath the fur. But to his utter shock, he found no stitches. The bill was naturally part of the head. The creature was real. He gave it the scientific name Platypus anatomus, meaning flat-foot duck-like. But the mystery was only beginning. As more specimens arrived, it became clear that this wasn't just a strange animal, it was an evolutionary enigma. Take its tail, for example, like a beaver's, but it's used for storing fat and as a rudder for steering through the water. And that strange bill, it's not a hard beak like a duck's. It's soft, flexible, and packed with thousands of electrical sensors. This electroreception allows the platypus to hunt in muddy waters by detecting the electrical signals sent by its prey's muscles. But perhaps the most surprising discovery was the venom. Males have spurs on their hind legs that can deliver a painful sting. Scientists struggled for decades to classify it. Was it a mammal, a bird, or some kind of water-living reptile? The final shock came when it was discovered that this fur-covered, milk-producing animal actually laid eggs. This placed the platypus in a rare group called monotremes, mammals that lay eggs instead of giving birth to live young. Its only living relatives are the 4 species of echidna, another Australian wonder that shares this ancient reproductive method. The platypus is often called a living fossil because it has retained many traits from the earliest mammals. Its ancestors split off from the main mammalian line over 160 million years ago, carving their own unique evolutionary path. Today, the platypus is a protected species, but it faced challenges from habitat loss and climate change in its native Australia. Protecting the rivers and creeks they call home is vital to ensuring this incredible creature continues to thrive. The platypus is more than just a scientific curiosity. It's a national symbol of Australia appearing on their 20-cent coin. So, next time you see something that looks like a hoax, remember the platypus. Sometimes the weirdest ideas are the ones nature perfected. Nature's greatest hoax turned out to be its most fascinating masterpiece. Thank you for exploring the mystery of the platypus. Welcome! Today we're diving into the secret life of one of nature's most bizarre and brilliant creations, the platypus. At first glance, it looks like a biological mashup. The bill of a duck, the tail of a beaver, and the feet of an otter. But it's more than just looks. The platypus is a monotreme, one of the few mammals that actually lays eggs. That iconic bill is a high-tech sensor packed with thousands of cells that can detect tiny electrical signals underwater. With eyes and ears closed tight, it hunts entirely by sensing the muscle movements of shrimp and larvae in the mud. Its diet is simple but essential, consisting of the small invertebrates found at the bottom of Australian streams. Here's a fact that might surprise you. Adult platypuses have no teeth. Instead, they use hardened gum pads to grind food. They scoop up gravel alongside their prey, using the stones to help their gum pads grind everything down before swallowing. That beaver-like tail isn't just for steering. It actually stores up to half of the animal's body fat for the winter. Watch out! Males have a hollow spur on their hind legs that can deliver a venom powerful enough to kill small animals. While it's not fatal to humans, it's incredibly painful. They use these spurs mostly to defend their territory during breeding season. To survive cold waters, they have fur so dense that it traps a layer of air, keeping their skin perfectly dry and warm. These unique creatures are true Aussies, found only in the freshwater systems of eastern Australia and Tasmania. They spend most of their lives in complex burrows dug into the banks, emerging mainly at dawn and dusk to feed. On land, they are surprisingly mobile, walking on their knuckles to protect their delicate swimming membranes while they dig. The platypus is a true living fossil. Its lineage has remained almost unchanged for over 100 million years. Fossils show that their ancestors were swimming in the same waters as dinosaurs, perfecting their unique way of life. Nursing is different too. Mothers don't have teats. Instead, milk is secreted through pores in the skin for babies to lap up. And the name for a baby platypus? A puggle. They stay safe in the burrow for 4 months before their first swim. Today, protecting these habitats is crucial. Climate change and pollution are the biggest threats to their ancient home. When the first specimens reached Europe in 1799, scientists were so shocked they actually thought the animal was a hoax. The platypus reminds us that nature is full of surprises. It's a masterpiece of evolution that deserves our protection. Thanks for joining us on this journey. Stay curious and keep exploring the wonders of our amazing natural world. Meet one of nature's most bizarre and fascinating wonders, the duck-billed platypus, a creature that defies easy classification. Native to eastern Australia and Tasmania, this semi-aquatic mammal has puzzled scientists for centuries. As one of only 5 surviving species of monotremes, it holds a unique secret. It is a mammal that lays eggs. After a 3-week gestation, the female retreats to a long, specialized nesting burrow to lay her small, leathery eggs. Inside this chamber, she constructs a cozy nest, often digging meters deep into the riverbank. She typically lays 2 small eggs, keeping them warm against her belly with her tail curled tight. For 10 days, the mother protects her brood. Because the eggs contain little yolk, the young hatch in an extremely underdeveloped state. The hatchlings, known as puggles, are about the size of a lima bean, blind, hairless, and completely helpless. To break free, they possess 2 specialized structures, an egg tooth and a fleshy bump called a caruncle. The egg tooth is a translucent, horn-like structure used to snag and tear the tough egg membrane from the inside. The caruncle, a bluntly conical bump, works with the egg tooth to help the puggle push its way out of the shell. These tools are temporary. They are shed shortly after the puggle successfully extricates itself from the egg. The presence of an egg tooth is a remarkable link to the platypus's reptilian past, a trait shared with modern lizards and birds. It serves as a living testament to the shared ancestry of mammals and reptiles from millions of years ago. Once out of the shell, the puggle's journey of rapid growth begins within the safety of the nesting burrow. In just 14 weeks, the puggle will increase its body weight by 20 times, sustained by its mother's milk. For 3 to 4 months, the mother provides constant care, barely leaving the burrow to ensure their safety. Lacking nipples, she secretes milk through pores in her skin directly onto specialized patches of fur. The blind puggles lap up this rich milk from the fur, gaining the strength needed to develop their adult features. Curiously, puggles are born with teeth, 2 premolars and 3 molars, though these won't last forever. By the time they leave the burrow, these teeth are lost, replaced by the tough, keratinous pads adults use to grind food. The iconic bill is a masterpiece of evolution, containing thousands of electrical and touch receptors. This allows for electrolocation, finding prey by detecting the minute electrical signals from moving muscles. With eyes, ears, and nostrils shut, it navigates the dark waters using only its sophisticated 6th sense. Males also carry a hidden weapon, a venomous spur on each hind ankle, used primarily in territorial disputes. Finally, after months of growth, the young platypus emerges from the burrow to explore the river. It weighs about 80% of its adult weight, ready to learn the skills of survival on its own. As climate change and habitat loss threaten these unique creatures, protecting Australian waterways is more critical than ever. The platypus is a living treasure, a bridge between the ancient world and the modern one. From its tiny egg tooth to its incredible 6th sense, the platypus remains one of nature's most extraordinary masterpieces. Deep in the waterways of Australia lives one of nature's most baffling creatures, the platypus. You might be surprised to learn that these small animals are quite long-lived. In the wild, they typically live up to 12 years, but in captivity, they can thrive for over 20 years. Some individuals have even been recorded reaching the incredible age of 30. These unique monotremes are endemic to eastern Australia and Tasmania. They are masters of diverse freshwater systems, from tropical lowlands to cold mountain streams. Being a monotreme means they lay eggs instead of giving birth to live young. It is an incredibly rare trait for mammals, shared only with the echidna. A baby platypus is called a puggle. They hatch blind and highly dependent on their mother. They remain in the burrow, feeding on rich milk for about 3 to 4 months. Lacking nipples, the mother secretes milk through pores in her skin for the puggles to lap up. They have a low body temperature of about 32 degrees Celsius, much lower than most mammals. Their fur is so dense it's second only to otters, providing perfect insulation in cold water. Males possess venomous spurs on their hind ankles, a weapon primarily used during breeding season. While not lethal to us, the venom causes excruciating pain that resists even strong painkillers. Their bill is a sensory marvel, packed with electroreceptors to find prey in murky depths. When diving, they close their eyes, ears, and nostrils, relying entirely on electrical signals. They move their heads side to side to pinpoint the faint electrical pulses of their moving prey. Surprisingly, they have no stomach. Their esophagus connects directly to their intestines. Mostly active at dawn and dusk, they avoid many predators while they hunt for their next meal. They use their webbed front feet for propulsion and their beaver-like tail for steering. On land, they walk on their knuckles to protect their delicate swimming webbing. Their diet consists mainly of bottom-dwelling invertebrates like larvae, shrimp, and worms. They store food in cheek pouches while diving and grind it up once they return to the surface. Their nesting burrows can be incredibly extensive, reaching up to 30 meters in length. Their long lifespan is a result of their slow metabolism and unique biological adaptations. In captivity, consistent care and protection allow them to live for nearly 3 decades. Sadly, habitat destruction and water pollution are major threats to their future. Conservation efforts are vital to ensure these evolutionary marvels continue to thrive. The platypus reminds us of the incredible diversity and resilience found in our natural world.